What's up, everybody? We are back with some NFL preseason DFS picks, lineup advice, FanDuel, DraftKings, 5 plays for tonight's preseason slate, Friday, August 26th. Welcome. I'm Brian Jester, co-founder here at Occupy Fantasy. As you see on screen here, 20K in winnings on Saturday night's slate, and we're trying to recreate that tonight. The biggest edges are found when we have 3, 4, 5, or more games. The industry, other DFS players, they don't put in the work, they don't put in the research. We do that for you, and that's when we get our biggest wins. So let's jump into it tonight. 5 players and some situations that you need to be aware of for tonight's preseason slate, FanDuel, and DraftKings. So let's go over to the lineup screen for tonight. Let's talk about quarterbacks first. And there are 3, maybe more. We're going to have to monitor this throughout the day, but at least 3 quarterback situations that look like the quarterback should play a majority of the game. The first one is here, Drew Lock, the most talented quarterback on the slate, the most talented quarterback that's going to be playing tonight. Geno Smith is going to draw the start. Drew Lock missed last week due to COVID. Remember, those two are battling for the starting position there in Seattle. And Pete Carroll said on the radio show earlier this week that Geno's going to start, but Drew Lock's going to come in and play majority, if not the rest of the game. So that should be around 3/4 for Drew Lock, and a quarterback of his talent level that has played in the regular season before. That's certainly enough to be the highest scorer on the slate. Other quarterbacks, New England. Mac Jones and the starters. Mike Reese of beat reporter fame for New England says that the starters won't play much, if at all, tonight. So we probably won't see Mac Jones. We might not even see Brian Hoyer. If we do, it's probably limited action. But Bailey Zapp, who we've seen get a decent amount of playing time this preseason, he should see 3+ quarters again tonight. And we know that New England is pretty productive when they put their guys on the field in preseason. So Bailey Zapp is another great quarterback option tonight. And he's got some great stacking options we'll get to here in a second. And finally, hasn't put up the greatest fantasy totals, but he does run some, and that's Ian Book. And double-digit points in his last game because he started most of the game. In fact, he's played almost every snap for the Saints in the preseason. Now, if you read the practice reports, Jameis and Andy Dalton got a ton of snaps this week, which likely indicates that they're probably not going to play this week. And they got a lot of snaps in the joint practices and in their own practices. And pretty much every reporter expects Ian Book to probably start and play the whole game. Now, if he does play the whole game, that probably puts him in line as the top quarterback. But we'll know that later, probably around 6 p.m. Eastern when we get word that Jameis is or is not starting. But tons of quarterbacks today playing 3+ quarters, so lots of options to use for your lineups. On that note, there are 3 teams that are going to rest starters. They're going to probably even rest some backups, and it's going to be an evaluation mode for a lot of guys at the back of the roster. And these are the situations where we get the most locked-in playing time. The first one is Buffalo. Head coach Sean McDermott said exclusively this game will be an evaluation game for back of the depth chart guys. And they're going to be thin at running back. They're going to be very thin at wide receiver. Khalil Shakir, Isaiah Hodgins are going to be 2 of the most popular plays on the slates. Those guys should play a ton of snaps. And even tight end, they're only going to have 3 guys that are going to play. So a lot of your lineups are going to include Buffalo players tonight, mostly at the running back and receiver positions. The aforementioned New England Patriots had joint practices with the Raiders this week, and both coaches, Josh McDaniel, Bill Belichick, said they got a lot out of those practices. You read between the lines. Even if you just look at their historical trends or what they've done in preseason already, we can't expect to see too many players who are going to be out there in the regular season playing this game. So for New England, if we go to the receiver situation, that means likely Devontae Parker's out, likely Jacoby Myers is out, probably Kendrick Bourne is out. He had a weird absence last week after getting thrown out of practice. Maybe they punish him by playing him in this game. We'll see. And Nelson Aguilar probably going to be out. Ty Montgomery playing running back. He'll probably be out. Tyquan Thornton injured his collarbone. He's out. Christian Wilkerson, he is still in concussion protocol. He's out. Matthew Slater does not play on offense. This is a special teams player. So that leaves Trey Nixon, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Josh Hammond, the only 3 receivers who are probably going to play 3/4 or more, maybe the entire game. We've seen New England do this before. They're going to be very popular, right? You've seen some slates. You saw the Green Bay receivers last night approach 30, 40, 50% ownership. These guys are worth it, right? They're going to get their targets. They've been productive, namely Nixon and Humphrey. So you're going to have those guys in a lot of your lineups tonight as well. The running back and tight end situation is a little interesting. Not sure what they're going to do here in New England, but a very strong chance we just get Strong, Harris, and J.J. Taylor mixing it up. They haven't been that productive in the preseason, but again, playing time is everything, and just 3 running backs probably going to see the field tonight for New England. Finally, we have the Raiders. Now, Josh McDaniel comes from that New England tree. he hasn't really played. He hasn't played starters at all. Even some of the role players they haven't played much. So that leaves a lot of running back options. Josh Jacobs probably won't play. Amir Abdullah is locked into a roster spot now that Kenyon Drake has been cut or waived, so he'll probably not play. Brandon Bolden won't play. So it leaves, I don't even know who this is. Oh, Jacob Johnson, the fullback. There you go. It probably just leaves Zamir White, but he's a rookie that's going to make the team. Maybe they don't play him as much this week. So it's going to leave Britton Bolden. That's the wrong. Britton Brown, who didn't play week 1, but played a ton last week. Probably will play, or didn't play in the Hall of Fame game, but played week 1, played week 2. Was going to play a lot in this game as well. And he'll probably split work with Austin Walter. Both have been productive when they've gotten touches. So you're looking for a backfield option. Las Vegas seems to be the spot to look to. And again, they're not going to play their top receivers either, right? Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Matt Collins is locked up the third wide receiver role. Just these other back of the roster guys that you're going to be playing. Now, I threw a lot at you. Just to recap, Drew Lock, Ian Book, Bailey Zapp, going to be the most probably playing time heavy quarterbacks. Buffalo, New England, Las Vegas are going to be short at a lot of positions. You're going to use a lot of players from those teams. And then, again, because there are 4 games on the slate, Seattle, Dallas, Carolina, the Chargers, New Orleans, there are going to be players from those games that are less than 5% owned that sneak into the optimal lineup or the winning lineups. You don't want to miss out. In high-risk contests, even in low-risk contests, the field is going to gravitate. We've seen ownership get crazy on a couple of guys. Don't play all chalky guys in your lineup. Save a couple spots for those differentiated players. And how can you find those players? You read our daily plug, OccupyFantasy.com. Let me show you from yesterday. Let me see. Yep, got it from yesterday. So this is the top plays from yesterday's preseason plug. You see the blue and red? That was updates that were made pregame, once we got pregame news. You scroll down, we have the stacking options for you. Which receiver should I play with which quarterback? We got you, whether you're playing Showdown or whether you're playing the classic slate. Slate notes, how do I build a low-risk lineup? How do I build a high-risk lineup? How do I use the lineup builder? All right here. Which contest should I play? Easy. Okay. And then most importantly, if you want to do your own research, playing time notes, expectations, snap count trends, practice reports, target and air yard and opportunity data for every single position, for every single team on the slate. It is a ton of information. We have 4 or 5 people working on this. We put together the most comprehensive report that you could possibly find. You're going to be in the best shape if you're playing NFL Preseason DFS if you read our daily plug. It'll post by 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern tonight. The link is in the description below. Encourage you to check it out. Our opportunity dashboard, let's go here. This is where you can research how many snaps guys played last week, how many snaps guys played last year, the last couple of years to pick up on historical trends. And then our opportunity data, how many targets and air yards have each guy seen this preseason. Again, you're not going to find a better place for preseason DFS information. If you like what you saw here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get notified when we go live. We'll do these videos for tomorrow and Sunday, the final 2 games of the preseason slates. And then we'll be back for the regular season where I'll be doing these showdown videos. We'll also do some main slate videos as well. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. Any questions about tonight's slate? I'll be here all day. Leave a comment on this video and I'll get back to you. If you want a more in-depth answer or you want to chat with us, ask some other questions, sweat the games tonight, get late breaking news before the slate starts, join our Discord server, occupyfantasy.com/Discord. Come chat it up with other members of the community. So, Brian, for Occupy Fantasy, appreciate you listening as always, and good luck in tonight's preseason DFS slate.